Hello friends, welcome to Programming Concepts. My name is Amit and this is part 43 of ASP.NET Core MVC tutorial. In this video, we will talk about different attributes available for partial tag helper in .NET Core MVC. This is continuation of part 42, produce partial view result via controller in .NET Core MVC. So please watch it before proceeding to this one. I shared the link in the description. So out of the box, Microsoft provides 4 tag helper attributes for partial. The first one is name, the second one is for, the third one is model, and the fourth one is view data. We already covered the first one, which is name, in our previous video. Just to recap, the name attribute is required. Required here means that if you are using this attribute, it can't be null or blank. You have to provide a partial view path. It indicates the name or the path of the partial view to be rendered. When a partial view name is provided, the view discovery process is initiated. Means which partial view you want to render. Simple. Let's move on to next attribute, and the next attribute is for. Let's read the definition first. The for attribute assigns a model expression to be evaluated against the current model. A model expression infers the at model syntax. For example, for is equal to employee can be used optional to you instead of at model dot employee. This default inference behavior is overridden by using the at symbol to define an inline expression. Here is the sample markup for attribute. Partial, then name of our partial view, then for attribute where we specified this partial view linked with employee class. Alright, let's see that in action. Let's get back to Visual Studio. And this is the project which we are working on. First, let's quickly create another partial view for demo purposes. Right click on the shared folder. Add view, select razor, then click on add. Let's name it underscore tag helper demo partial. And make sure the create as partial view checkbox is selected. Click on add. Let's say this partial view expects the name of the employee to display. So let's define a model. At model string. Now within the h3 element, let's print employee name from partial view. Employee name from partial view at model. Let's also change the color of this h3 element. So style is equal to color colon red. Now let's go to add employee page. At the top, let's define the h1 element and print the partial demo. Provide HR for the horizontal ruler. It's only to get a better view. Now use the partial. The name will be underscore tag helper demo partial. And let's define for attribute and let's specify name. And you can see IntelliSense also gives you employee property. Now we know that we are not receiving any value in this model from our controller. So just for demo purposes, let's send one employee object to this view. Let's go to employee controller and within add employee action method, let's write employee and let the employee object name be employee with small e is equal to underscore repository dot get employees dot first or default. And pass this object with a view. And that's it. It should work. Let's run the program. And you can see value is successfully passed from main view to partial view with the help of for attribute. Instead of writing only the property name, you can also write add model.name. Let's save and refresh the page. Working as expected. Alright. Next, what if we need to pass a new model to partial view? Let's create a new model. First, stop the application. Right click on model. Add a new class. And let's name it test model. Click on add. Okay. Next, let's create one property within this class. Let's say it is of type string and the property name be my property. Next, let's go to add employee view and create dummy object for this model. So add within the curly braces test model with small t is equal to new test model. Now test model dot my property is equal to pro concepts. Now pass this object to our partial view. So add test model. Let's get back to our partial view, and you can see our partial view is still expecting a model of type string. So replace it with test model. And in the message, just append dot my property. And that's it. Save and run the application. And you can see we are getting the required message, pro concepts. Let's get back to our slide. And the second attribute is model. The model attribute assigns a model instance to pass to the partial view. The model attribute can't be used with the for attribute. This statement is quite obvious because both for and model attributes are used to send data to partial view, so they can't be used together. In the following markup, a new employee object is instantiated and passed to the model attribute for binding. Alright, let's get back to Visual Studio. Now, if we have to pass the same model or a class object with the help of model, we can simply replace it with model. So replace for with model. Just save and refresh the page. See, same behavior. Let's quickly cover another example provided on the Microsoft side, that the new class object is instantiated and passed to the model attribute for binding. So within a single quote, let's create an object of test model. So new test model. Within curly braces, my property is equal to example from Microsoft. Now if I try the same thing with the for attribute, it will throw the compile time exception or error. Let's use a model instead. Save and refresh the page. Working as expected. Next, let's try to pass this string object just like we did it with the help of for. First, let's change our partial view. Change test model to string and delete property as well. Now within our add employee view, let's type name, and you can see it is not recognizing employee property, whereas if I change it to for, it will work. Let's use model and then add model.name. Simple, it will work. Save and refresh the page. Working as expected. Let's get back to our slide. And the third attribute is, nope, it's the fourth one. First one is name. So the fourth attribute is view data. The view data attribute assign a view data dictionary to pass to the partial view. The following markup makes the entire view data collection accessible to the partial view. This markup makes the entire view data collection accessible to the partial view. So just add view data is equal to view data to our partial element. We do not have any view data on this page, so let's quickly create sample view data in the controller. Stop the application. So view data. Let's name the key name be test message is equal to view data sample content. Let's just copy this view data, go to our partial view. Let's type say view data info colon add and paste the view data test message. And let's run the program. And you can see we are getting the view data content as well. So we successfully implemented all partial view data attributes defined on the Microsoft side. Alright then, that's it in this video. If you have any queries related to the content of this video, do ask me in comments. Till then, thanks for watching.